Thank you, Olga. In 2012, McKinsey published an article saying analytics will define the difference between the losers and the winners going forward. And they were certainly not wrong. But while it all sounds encouraging, we have all encountered similar themed issue across different enterprises. Hi, I'm Jimmy Rai. I'm a data analytics leader based out in Chicago, currently leading data and analytics transformation for Central Garden and Pet. Central Garden and Pet is a publicly traded company, a leader in pet and garden business. It started in 1980 by our chairman Bill Brown as a small regional distributor of lawn and garden businesses. Over the last 40 years, Central has acquired some of the best companies in pet and garden industry. Acquisition is our core strategy for our growth. We have more than 65 high quality brands, including Paddington, Nylabone, Katie, and Amdro. With our rich historical and financial base to stand on, our new Central to Home strategy sets a bold ambition and contemporary roadmap for our next chapter of our growth with the mission to lead the future of pet and garden industry. As we embark on our next journey, we realized we had a lot of questions that we needed answer to. How can we grow organically? How can we better understand our end customer and improve and innovate our product mix? Is the consumer behavior changing rapidly? To answer all these questions, we needed accurate baseline data to determine our growth KPIs and peel off one layer at a time to understand our bottlenecks. We needed strong data and analytics capability. As you would imagine, I faced the similar roadblocks of siloed data, mismatched skill set, outdated technology, multiple sources of truth, and no overarching data strategy or analytics roadmap. Analytics leaders' nightmare. We needed a single source of truth to take important decisions and create measurement plan across it. With acquisition being one of the important part of our strategy, we needed to be tool agnostic, but have a cost-effective data architecture which can support strong data governance. We needed a lot. We needed to move what I called analytics utopia. Now, every enterprise will have their own version of analytics utopia, depending on their business strategy and needs. For us, we aspire to have highly adapted, optimized, and integrated analytics platform with one source of truth to support our business need. In a simple term, a user-adopted technology with optimized performance with one platform of integrated analytics. To achieve our utopia, we went after the universal three-prong approach of people, process, and technology. Starting with people, it was essential that everyone across the company were aligned towards one common goal. When we start thinking about the people side of transformation for analytics, we bucket them into three different parts. First, the internal stakeholders. We needed to make sure that everybody, starting from the executive all the way to the analyst level, were all aligned in terms of what we are driving towards and what we want to achieve. After the buy-in from the executive team, we created data and analytics governance structure across the enterprise to support and be accountable to for our analytics journey. The second was the strategic alignment with our external stakeholders like retail partners and private level manufacturers who were looking for a better insight for mutual growth. And third, by no means the last, having a strategic vendor who's aligned with your vision and provides support to achieve your utopia by removing the major roadblocks. With internal stakeholders aligned with our analytics vision, the next step was to simplify our data and analytics governance process. There were three major changes, I would say, which made the highest impact. First, instead of having a wild west where everyone is working in their own silos, creating their own versions of truth, we implemented a user-friendly single sign-on with role-based permission for data access and manipulation. It helped us keeping the purity of our master data. The second, we created different but unified functional analytics portal to house our knowledge and understand our universe, thus promoting an analytics synergy across the organization. The third and I would say the most important one was creating an enterprise-wise quick reference guides for your data products and create training for onboarding any new analytical member coming in your team, ensuring a very high rate of future adoption of our analytics platform. You want to make sure that anybody who's joining the analytics team is starting with the right habit and supporting the right platform. The last but the very important step was to identify the right technology and architecture to support our business. As you can see in our old architecture, a lot of report creations, dashboarding, and descriptive analytics was being done on the user side. The report creation was slow. There was no data governance in place. There was no easy access to the third-party data. All of this promoting to a separate a silo ETL with no documentation. From my vantage point, we had a high risk of losing legacy knowledge if anyone in the company with analytics in their name wins a lottery. This, this prompted me to create and implement a new architecture where we brought in all our data products on a centralized database with a role-based data access. This helped us to promote data democratization across our enterprise, at the same time have the ability to create strong data governance around it. We moved away from our previously outdated reporting platform to a new robust reporting and visualization toolkit, which fits our current needs and have a high adoption in our user community. With that being said, we have come a long way in our journey towards our analytics utopia, but still have miles to cover. At this time, I'll hand it over to Pallav to further dive into it.
Thank you, Jimmy. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you talking about a subject that I'm very passionate about: how centralized analytics drive innovation and growth. You all had a great opportunity to hear Jimmy share how he envisioned analytics utopia for Central. He's, after all, the man in the field. It was extremely insightful in understanding the journey from what was then the current state for Central and what it required to achieve the present desired state. The first step for a company that is embarking on the journey to use data to grow market share is building a strong data foundation. It is this foundation that enables rapid and well-informed decision-making across key functions, such as pricing, supply chain, marketing, e-commerce, finance, etc. Specifically for today's conversation, I'll deep dive on how Ugam is supporting Central develop a value-based pricing strategy by leveraging this data foundation. This initiative is to help maximize the revenue potential and generate evergreen contracts. Developing a value-based pricing strategy and then putting that strategy into play presents several challenges. This entails harnessing of complex data from multiple systems and data sources. Ugam is helping Central develop a pricing strategy that not only takes internal and historical data into account, it also takes market conditions in consideration and reflects consumers' view of Central's products. Our approach uses a combination of data, technology, and analytics to provide this comprehensive view that covers market data and consumer data in addition to in-house data. Our data engineering practitioners are helping build data pipelines to get the data in the central data landing zone. This consists of data from existing ERPs and several third-party sources. The data landing zone is then enriched with market data, such as partner selling price on their website, and consumer data, such as consumer sentiment through reviews, ratings, and product feedback information for Central's products. We leverage our big data platform powered by Ugam's Jarvis, a proprietary cognitive computing system to understand market data and consumer data. Jarvis is a tried, tested, and tailored suite of machine learning algorithms that have been trained on over 10 years of data. Jarvis helps us aggregate data from a whole host of sources, synthesize and analyze it at scale. The Ugam analytics team then turns all of this data into insights and recommendations. The team leverages Tableau to provide these pricing insights and performance reporting across various KPIs. This analysis and dashboards are consumed by the leadership team and other cross-functional teams and enable the organization for quick decision-making. We are still in the initial stages of this pricing transformation journey. These steps will enable Central to move away from traditional pricing strategy to more value-based pricing strategy. There are several benefits. To name a few, A, holistic market-based pricing strategy by better understanding of partners' prices and consumer preferences, sentiments. B, standardized pricing strategy across categories, segments, partners. And C, ability to maximize revenue and margins by better negotiations, faster pricing decisions, and frequent performance reporting. I'll now turn it over to Jimmy to walk us through where we are headed next on our journey. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Pallav. Coming back to our journey towards the analytics utopia, as I've said before, we have come a long way. We have done the majority of the heavy lifting, and we are very, very, very excited and driven towards our next milestone. Looking ahead and reviewing our analytics roadmap, in my humble opinion, there are 5 major benchmarks which every analytics leader should use to gauge their analytics maturity. Starting with a basic human-led analytics phase with no automation, no analytics framework in place. Second, a human-led system-supported analytics phase with rudimentary models, partial automation, with analytics mainly being run in silos. 3, a system-led human augmented analytics phase with one source of truth, with centralized analytics process and high level of integration between internal and external data. Fourth, a system-led active learning analytics phase, an intermediate utopia, if you want to call it, with optimized process and resources, high level of data democratization across the enterprise, with individual teams promoting predictive and prescriptive analytical models to drive business decisions. And finally, stage 5, our utopia, a truly data-driven enterprise. As for Central Garden and Pet, we are currently transversing from stage 2 of human-led system-supported analytic phase to system-led human augmented analytics phase. We are highly committed and driven to making it all the way to our analytics utopia. Before we end our session, I would love to share 3 of my major key takeaways from my journey so far. The first, understand the business strategy and align your data and analytics capability to support it. Second, each enterprise needs a custom analytics framework, as there is no off-the-shelf analytics framework that will fit every company's need. Don't try to force your needs on someone else's framework. Third, and the most important one, will be nimble and pivot when needed, but never ever take your eyes off your analytics vision. With every step you take, you should get closer to your own analytics utopia. I hope you have found this session useful, and thank you for your time. Feel free to reach out at the email on the screen. We are happy to help. Thank you.